Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer welcomes you to our biggest clearance sale of the year, the Happy Honda Day sales event. Get year-end clearance pricing on over 900 new Hondas, plus a complimentary lifetime powertrain warranty with every new Honda. Save thousands on your new Honda right here at Team Honda.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bug Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Cantea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Cantea, your Italian dining will change forever.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Which one, Marty? That one? Because starting off business as usual. All right, got you covered. Here's hoping that all is well with you and yours in this world today. As Bill told you at the end of last hour, if you hadn't been out and about today, blustery out of doors. So dress accordingly before you head out. We start today's show talking about self-inflicted wounds. If you've been with us over the last couple of days, you know we talked about the Lauren Daigle, LaToya Cantrell flap in New Orleans about the Let Us Worship maskless concert and the mayor attempting to, well, actually now succeeding in getting Lauren Daigle removed from the New Orleans portion of the New Year's Rockin' Eve broadcast. Self-inflicted wound. Well, it is 2020, and just when you think no one could come up with a bigger self-inflicted wound, all we have to do is wait a little while, and along comes Dr. Anthony Fauci. You are probably aware, I'm sure you've probably seen the polls by now, the number of Americans that have expressed doubt, reluctance, unwillingness, if you will, to take the COVID-19 vaccine. And leading this group of people are African Americans. The last poll I saw said only 24% of African Americans were willing to immediately take the COVID-19 vaccine. So in an interview recently on the Savoy Show, the host of the show put the question to Dr. Fauci, what would you say to African Americans who are reluctant to take the vaccine? His response, quote, "My African American brothers and sisters, the vaccine that you're going to be taking was developed by an African American woman. That is just a fact. I think that's one of the things that people don't appreciate." All right, let's back this bus up right now. White folks, I'm going to help y'all out. I'm going to do y'all a big favor. When you are talking to people you don't know, particularly black folks, and the first thing out of your mouth is, "My African American brothers and sisters," when that's the first thing out of your mouth, everything else you say after that has this much credibility. Zero. If I could channel my inner Cedric the Entertainer of Kings of Comedy fame, I would say, hold on, dog. Hold on, dog. We don't roll like that. I don't know you, and you don't know me. My African American brothers and sisters. Then, if that weren't bad enough, then he proceeds to say what is, and bless his little old heart, and y'all know, in Louisiana, you can say anything about anybody as long as you either preface it or end it with, bless his little old heart. Bless his little old heart. He then proceeds to make what is arguably the most racist statement possible. Well, you got to understand, it was developed by an African American woman, so y'all ought not have a problem taking it. Really, bruh? Of course, now, Joe Biden told us, in no uncertain terms, all them people think alike. Remember, if you got a problem figuring out whether to vote for me or Trump, then you ain't black. So apparently, Dr. Fauci figures if black folks know it was a black woman that developed the vaccine, oh, okay, well, all's fine. We'll line up and take the shot. Now, I've got to wonder, did Dr. Fauci come up with this on his own, just off the top of his head, in the middle of an interview? He gave what he considers to be an honest response. Or did y'all have a meeting? Now, white folk, y'all know y'all have meetings when we not around and y'all come up with stuff. Y'all know y'all have meetings when black folks ain't there and y'all come up with stuff, okay? You show up to work Monday and there's a new policy and black people are like, well, when did this happen? Oh, you wasn't here Friday. We had a meeting. And we came up with it. Did they have a meeting saying, okay, the polls show black folks are not going to take this vaccine. How do we connect with them? Okay, James, what you got? Well, you know, those people refer to each other as brothers and sisters. So when addressing them, if you call them your African American brothers and sisters, maybe you make that connection. You got an name. Oh yeah, that's a good one, James. That's a good one. All right, Janice, what you got? Well, you know, there's a lot of black people in America that have this inherent mistrust of white people. So if we could put a black face on the vaccine, then maybe that'll convince them that it's okay to take it. Oh, by golly, Janice, I think you got something. Okay, that's good stuff. I'm gonna write this down, and I'll make it a point to remember this in interviews in the future. Really, dog? Really? That is insulting a comment as you could possibly make to me. Whatever happened to simply giving me the facts? What happened to appealing to my intellect? You know, I don't know if white folks do this or not, but when black people play dominoes and or card games, when you score points or you play your trump card, you slam it down on the table. Marty, you half black then. Marty said, yeah, I do that too. When you score, you know, black folks are Ella Stella, you slam the table. Sisters, 15, you slam it, because the people I play with, we don't count nickels. If you can't score any more than 5 points, you don't deserve a seat at the table. But that's a different show for a different day. When you play that trump card, you slam it down on the table. I'm sitting there watching this interview, and I'm saying to myself, Tony, and I guess I can call him by his first name now, Anthony, because we are, after all, brothers and sisters, right? Did Tony just play the brother card on me? Did you just play the brother card? Now, so far, there are 3 different vaccines that we know of. And are you telling me all 3 of them, and I know for a fact 2 of them are based on a different approach to dealing with the virus, are you telling me it was a black woman that developed all 3 of the vaccines? And more important, are you also telling white people, if I read between the lines, I don't know if y'all should take this or not, because you know it was a black woman that developed it? Really, Dr. Fauci? Really? Whatever happened to just appealing to the decency of people? Whatever happened to simply giving me the facts? Well, you know, African Americans have been disproportionately affected to a large degree by the pandemic. But for you to come out and play the brother card and start it all off with, to my African American brothers and sisters, that's insulting. That is absolutely insulting. I don't know what it is going to take in this country for us to get past this point. And the fact of the matter is, there was no need for that. Yet another self-inflicted wound. And it doesn't help already the lightning rod that he is. Louis Farrakhan, Nation of Islam leader, coming out last week calling the vaccine toxic waste and telling all of his followers, don't you let them white folks shoot this in you. But for Fauci to come out and address to his African American brothers and sisters, for those of you that knew my late brother, former 6 and 10 anchor for the ABC affiliate here in Baton Rouge, if you really knew him, I can see as vivid in my mind as if he were here right now. He would have heard that interview and just went like this. He would have rubbed his entire head, face, everything to show his exasperation at these comments. Again, I don't know if he came up with this one on his own or if y'all had a meeting while we weren't there and decided this would be the best way to approach this. Just for the record, white people, From this day forward, when you are talking with people you don't know, particularly black folk, or any group of folk that don't look like you, don't think you are going to endear yourselves to them by approaching it with the first thing out of your mouth. Well, my fellow African American brothers and sisters, just when you thought you couldn't blow a bigger hole in your foot than LaToya Cantrell, along comes Tony, Dr. Fauci. Well, wonders never cease. First break of today's show. We're back with more next on the Clarence Bugg Show. Stay close.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with The Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Get 0.9% financing for 60 months on every new 21 Mazda, plus 90 days deferred payments during the season of inspiration at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Balello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Balello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. It has started again. And I guess in the grand scheme of things, we should have anticipated this because we've seen it occur more and more in recent memory. Every 4 years, when we go through the ritual of electing the leader of the free world, if the election results are anywhere near close, or if the election results are not to someone's particular party's liking, you hear this resurgence of a call to do away with the Electoral College. And of course, in recent memory, that call has gotten louder and louder and louder, to the point where now, at last count, some 15 states are pooling their resources to attempt to get rid of the Electoral College. I am a huge proponent of education. And this is not meant to cast a negative dispersion on those whose charge it is to teach civics in this country. But we are obviously failing miserably in that regard. For those who subscribe to the theory that it is the popular vote that should determine our president, it's obvious to me they didn't pay attention in civics to understand the form of government that we are under, nor do they have a sincere appreciation for the fact that we are an amalgamation of states. We are separate entities that share a common interest. It is also relatively clear that these individuals also don't understand that we are not a democracy. We are a representative republic. Yes, there are some democratic principles that we subscribe to, but we are first and foremost a representative republic. Now, as a thinking person, at some point, you have to ask yourself, how in the world could we have so many people with such a limited knowledge of what our form of government is all about, whether or not we are truly a democracy or a representative republic? How in God's name do we have 15 states where folks don't understand and or appreciate this? Well, here's a great example. Alex Keysar, Keyssar, is a professor at Harvard. He is also the author of multiple books on the Electoral College. And by the way, I hear people say this all the time. It is not the Electoral College, it's the Electoral College, but I digress. This guy is a professor at Harvard, has written multiple books on the Electoral College. He is one that says it's time we do away with the Electoral College. Quote, my opinion, professor says, is definitely that the Electoral College should be changed. I think that it does not conform to basic democratic values and poses a number of hazards for American institutions in American democracy. This guy is a professor at Harvard and doesn't understand that we are not a democracy. This guy has written multiple books on the Electoral College with all his degrees and all of his, granny clamp it, book learning, does not have a clue. Think of it in these terms. 50 different states. And only because of the way the map is drawn, California, Texas, New York, throw in maybe Florida, because of the population centers there, you are of the opinion these folks, just by sheer numbers alone, should determine for everybody else who the president is. And ironically, these same people will bring into the argument fairness. When you have a degree that allows you to teach at Harvard, when you have written multiple books on the Electoral College, and you talk about how the Electoral College poses, quote, a number of hazards for American institutions in American democracy, you immediately fall into that category that my late father termed the educated fools. You can have all the degrees possible, every letter of the alphabet behind your name. But if you operate from a flawed premise from the very beginning, everything else after that is garbage. It's rubbish, as the British are fond of saying. It's total crap. And every 4 years, the call for it gets louder and louder and louder. And what that says to me is that every year we are left with fewer and fewer and fewer Americans that not only understand the form of government that we live under, but maybe more important, don't have a true appreciation for the freedoms and the liberties that are contained therein. Ronald Reagan famously said years ago, freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. And every 4 years, as we see this call for abolishing the Electoral College get stronger and stronger and stronger, those words become more important with every passing election. I guess at this point, it should become painfully clear that either we are producing generations of young people that don't have the propensity to learn about America, or we have entrusted our young people into the hands of people who are refusing to teach them the true nature of this country. Now, if it is the latter of the two, that's on them. But on the other hand, real parents, and more important, real American parents, y'all better wake up and start paying attention and teaching your children yourself about the true nature of this country, its government, the principles that it was founded upon, and maybe more important, the repercussions and the ramifications of allowing this process of degeneration to continue. Just because California has 10, 20, 30 times more people than another state does not give them the right to decide the president just because it's more people. Lest we forget, California is only one of 50 states. And at least for the time being, the last I heard, we are still the United States of America. Some of y'all that slept through civics, you're not going to get it. Others of y'all, you're not going to get it till later. But that's okay, long as you get it. Bottom of the hour break. Let me bang this out. We'll come back and talk more right where you've got it on today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golfing Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonecountryClub.com.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Get 0.9% financing for 60 months on every new 21 Mazda, plus 90 days deferred payments during the season of inspiration at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. It, at last glance, appears as though Congress is edging closer and closer and closer to the resolution of a second stimulus package / pandemic relief bill. If there's anybody in America that should be breathing a huge sigh of relief over the lockdowns and the social distancing standards and all of this sort of stuff that has come out of this pandemic. It should be Congress. You know, under any other circumstances, with Congress dragging its feet for months on end now, I would like to think that under any other circumstances, the American people would have been in the streets in droves, would have descended upon Washington like flies on you-know-what, demanding that these people get off their butts, their lazy, partisan butts, and take care of the business of the people's business. Millions of Americans are hurting. Millions of Americans are struggling, trying to figure out where their next house note, car note, meal is going to come from. And these jack-legged clowns in our nation's capital continue to drag this stuff all out. PJ Media reports today that no one has seen the latest bill in writing, but sources say that it will contain an unknown amount for extended unemployment benefits and other avenues to deliver aid to the states, localities, territories, and tribes. It will also cost an unknown amount for individual stimulus checks, direct payment to citizens of an undetermined amount. Hopefully, before the bill is voted on, congressional negotiators will remove those question marks and have some actual numbers for us. You've probably heard, if you've been keeping abreast of the news, contrary to the first round of stimulus payments, where the CARES Act had payments of up to $1,200 per adult and $500 per child, that bill cost almost $300 billion. Lawmakers looking at the second round reportedly has a much lower price tag. The White House, by the way, last week proposing direct payments of $600 per adult and per child, which some analysts say will probably carry a price tag of around $170 billion. Again, if there is any group of people in America that should be thankful for the lockdowns and social distancing, it should be Congress. Because you know, not so very long ago, Americans would have been so incensed at Congress thumbing its nose at the American people, knowing for months and months and months how badly the American people are hurting. And because of political considerations, bickering, spite, pettiness, whatever you want to attribute it to, we're still just barely hanging on by a thread. There was a time not long ago we would have, if I could channel my inner Parliament Funkadelic, we would have turned that mother out. I guess it truly is a different day in America. But those folk up there better be awfully happy that the mainstream media and others have frightened Americans to the point where we're no longer on a whim, at the drop of a hat, ready to take to the streets to protest the way we used to. It's despicable. And to think the men and women that we elected to serve us, not appointed to rule over us, but to think that the men and women we elected to serve us swore an oath. And yet, all of these folks are suffering, are struggling, are dying, and they're still dragging their feet over issues that in the grand scheme of things, y'all don't give a hoot about. All I care about is how am I going to feed my family? All I care about is how am I going to pay my rent and keep a roof over my head? All I care about is how am I going to be able to pay for my child's education? How am I going to be able to pay the car note so that whenever I can go back to work, I have transportation to and from there? And these clowns continue to drag their feet. I only hope that real Americans will remember this for the next election. I can only hope that real Americans will decide that we're sick and tired of being sick and tired. I can only hope that real Americans will decide to hold these people accountable for this farce that they have perpetrated on the American public. They can find money to spend on every frivolous thing out there. And yet, we have to have groups like the Wounded Warrior Project begging us for money to take care of those who have given up limbs, lives, sanity in defense of this country. We can give money to folks that are here illegally, have no business whatsoever being in this country. But when Americans need help, the freaking people that elected you, you sitting up there dragging your feet, arguing over petty nonsense and the like. I only hope that you all will remember this. Of course now, Clarence, you're the one that always says, Americans, we got the attention span of a gnat. And we do. The media has us so conditioned now that just like a gnat, you ever watch a gnat when it gets in your house? He'll fly over here and sit on this for a second, and then he'll fly over off something else, and then he flies over something else. That's how our attention spans are. And the politicians bank on us being that way. Well, I don't know about you, but 2020 has led me to coin a phrase. Actually, it's a spinoff of an age-old phrase. That I'm making a list, and I'm checking it thrice. And I'm going to remember all of this foolishness for the rest of my life. All these professional athletes, all the Hollywood actors and elites, all the lifetime politicians. I'm making a list of all this crap, and I'm not going to forget it anytime soon. I only hope that the rest of my fellow Americans will do the same. We should be, aside from incensed and embarrassed, We should be disgusted that after all we have been subjected to in 2020, Congress still has not moved on behalf of the American people. That in and of itself should tell you everything you need to know. I understand times are tough, y'all. I understand you got a lot on your plate. I understand full well you're trying to juggle all sorts of things. But at the end of the day, we have entrusted a sacred duty to these clowns up in Washington. And if you hadn't figured out by now they have betrayed our trust, you probably never will. Listen, y'all, I'm just telling you the truth. Now, if you got a problem with what you hear when you turn on this show, your problem is not with me. Your problem is with the truth. And if you have a problem with the truth, you got a problem with yourself. Your problem is not with me, because all I'm going to tell you is the God-honest truth. So your problem is not with me. Your problem is with yourself. Just a little something to make you go, Final break of today's show. We'll come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show right where you've got it, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Surprise, something good has finally happened in 2020. Yours truly, the Clarence Bugg Show, gets to be with you every day of the week. That's right, 11 to 12 every weekday. And of course, the Exiles right in front of yours truly from 10 to 11, yours truly 11 to 12. So now it's appointment viewing. 5 days a week here on the Pelican. The Clarence Bugg Show. The only thing missing is you.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. I think it was right about this time last week, if memory serves correct, that we gave you guys and girls the heads up on the problems with fraud in unemployment claims here for the great state of Louisiana. The Louisiana Workforce Commission announcing last week that they were halting the payments on new claims for unemployment until they could thoroughly vet all of the claims that they were having to deal with. Since the start of this pandemic, as you can probably imagine, the Louisiana Workforce Commission, God bless them, they've had their hands more than full. Last month, there was a dramatic increase in the number of unemployment insurance claims. As a matter of fact, in just 2 weeks, there were some 32,000 claims for unemployment insurance filed in Louisiana. Since that time, some 8,400 cases previously flagged for needing additional identification have been reviewed. Still another 1,500 are awaiting staff review. Quote, "We're working diligently and quickly to get them their unemployment as soon as possible." That quote is attributed to Press Secretary Justin Bennett for the Louisiana Workforce Commission. Obviously, events of this nature, the pandemic, will bring out both the best in humanity and the worst. And we would like to think that no one would take advantage of the system and get benefits that they are not rightfully entitled to, therefore denying benefits to our fellow Americans and Louisianians that truly need it. But unfortunately, the world is no longer an ideal place to be. And as a result, the good folks at the Louisiana Workforce Commission have an obligation, because you know full well that we won't hesitate to criticize them if they do a bad job. We also will not hesitate to criticize them if we find out later on down the road they paid out millions of dollars in unemployment benefits that people were not eligible to receive, and had they done their due diligence, it would have saved the taxpayers millions of dollars. So it's an unfortunate situation that those that filed the new unemployment claims with the Louisiana Workforce Commission are going to have to wait a little longer to receive those benefits. It is unfortunate that the good folks that work at the Louisiana Workforce Commission have to put in all this extra work before they're able to help the folks that truly need it. Such is the nature of the beast. So if by chance you know someone that confesses to you they are considering gaming the system, do your buddy Clarence a favor, will you? Tell them not to, because there are too many of our fellow hard-pressed Louisianians that truly need the help. And every time someone attempts to game the system, on the back end, it hurts a Louisianian that could truly use that help. Before we get out of here for the week, got to send a shout out to a young man that I am so proud of. You all know full well that aside from my talk show gigs, I also do a lot of sports broadcasting. And over the last couple of years prior to COVID-19, I had the opportunity to broadcast any number of games, high school football games in Point Capee. Catholic High of Point Capee, Catholic High School of Point Capee, CHSPC, was a regular on my beat, along with Livonia High, Falls River Academy, and other schools, West Feliciana, so on and so forth. But Matthew Langlois, who was a mainstay for 4 years with the Hornets of Catholic High School of Point Capee, this week signed to play football for our flagship university, Louisiana State University. Why is that significant? Because, I mean, after all, there are kids from all over the state that have signed to play with LSU. Well, Matthew Langlois is the first graduate from Catholic High School of Point Capee to sign with a Division I program in over 30 years. You may remember they played for the state championship last year, did the Hornets of Catholic High School of Point Capee. Very disappointing outcome. That was what that was. But I had the opportunity to meet Matthew Langlois on occasion, and he is an outstanding young man. He is morally straight, civic-minded individual, and I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever that he will make the good folks of Point Capee and the Hornet family extremely proud as a member of the LSU Fighting Tigers. Congrats to you, young man. You have earned every bit of it, and you come from a great family. Just ask anybody in the city of New Roads about the Langlois family. Everybody knows them. And it's just good to see that a young man coming from a small Christian private school like Catholic of Point Capee can be rewarded for his efforts both on and off the field. And while we're doing it, big time congrats to all of our young people that signed letters of intent recently to continue their education and their athletic pursuits. I only hope that they will remember that you are, in fact, continuing to be student athletes. The student part comes before the athlete part, and there is a distinct reason for that. Your playing days at some point are going to come to an end, but being a great citizen, that doesn't stop till you're gone. Speaking of gone, time for me to do it. But this day, like any other, I give it to you. You're right. America, we're not perfect, but doggone it, for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize he loves you, right? And I hope you know that I do too. Then again, there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. Love you much. See you soon.